Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here for my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. And thank you for tuning in to this morning's edition of Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys, because you literally cannot sleep on the Dallas Cowboys because things can happen first thing in the morning, late at night. You just don't know, and you want to be up to speed with everything that is the Dallas Cowboys. And it looks like we are already open for business, some 42 days, 8 hours, 57 minutes, and 13 seconds away from kickoff against the Carolina Panthers. And speaking of the Carolina Panthers, we as fans are excited as can be that now we can start to smell football. We can start feeling football, that our players are out on the field. But this is also the time that you're praying that you can get through the off season and then training camp to get to the actual games without losing players. And for the Carolina Panthers, they've lost their starting right tackle, Darrell Williams, and that's huge. He has a dislocated patella tendon. If you don't know what that is, just find your kneecap, and basically that's what holds the kneecap together, holds the kneecap in place. It's the big tendon that locks the muscle to the bone. That's bad. If that's not bad enough, it's also the medial collateral ligament is also torn. He is out indefinitely, but probably will be gone the whole season, which means they are having a little bit of a scramble right now for the Carolina Panthers offensive line. But be that as it may, the only thing we've had so far injury-wise is Cedric Williams was having a shoulder looked at. So every day we pray, we hope that nobody gets hurt. Now, excuse me. One thing I want to touch upon is, and I always say, there's perception and then there's reality. The media has their own narrative of things they want to have. They realize that the Dallas Cowboys are either loved or they're hated. They're polarizing. So we want to talk about it, and if we can talk about something that's controversial, we're going to get clicks, likes, comments, people checking it out. It's just the way it is. Everybody loves the Cowboys or hates them. We all know about Dez Bryant going off on Friday on Twitter. And it turns out, and you don't hear too many people talking about this, it turns out in the initial piece that Sirius Radio put out, they edited and took out part of it. So this is the interview that was
Just think it's,
heard.
you know, he's working on his game. I think he's worked on his accuracy. I think he's got to trust the system, which I think at times last year there was pressure with Dez in his ear, to some degree Jason in his ears. Those great players want balls. And I think if he can get back to what we did the year before, where we run the football consistently with Zeke and that great offensive line we have, and let him really trust the system, work through his reads, which I think he'll do, then I think not that he didn't play good last year, but I think he'll have the type of year he had the year before, if not better. And I just think if he'll step up and really trust and have the patience to work through those things, and then as he's really been good at his whole career, whether it's Mississippi State or us, is protect the football. I mean, let's don't beat ourselves.
Okay, so what they edited out on that conversation was, after Dez Bryant whispering in his ear, they edited out, to some degree, Jason Witten. So then it just sounded like, oh, well, Dez Bryant's in his ear because he wants the ball, kind of T.O.-like. And this is one of the things that really drives me crazy. In fact, one of the reasons why I started doing blogging and Joe Boo's page on Facebook was because all the time you would hear things, and I would look and say, that ain't right. That's not how it is. The narrative on Tony Romo was always Tony Romo was a choker, yet he was actually having more fourth quarter comebacks than anybody else. So this was blatant to make sure that they threw shade on Dez Bryant, and this is what they mean by taking it out of context. They didn't show the whole thing originally, and that set off the whole narrative. Now, what drives you even crazier is they did this. They got all the play out of it. They got the reaction from Dez Bryant, which was gold, but they're not held accountable for it. This is the same thing that Mike Farello did to Dez Bryant in the past. And this is, one of the times you look at it and everybody looks at Dez and says, oh, Dez does this, Dez does that. But Dez has been wrong many a time because Mike Farello went out and said there might be a tape of Dez Bryant that's 10 times worse than Ray Rice that set off a whole firestorm. All these people. There's going to be a tape being released immediately that Dez Bryant is guilty of domestic violence and stuff. We're still waiting for that tape. Yet nobody ever apologized and said, oh, we were wrong. There was no tape. Dez Bryant, we owe you an apology. We got it wrong. No. They do this kind of stuff. They end up screwing somebody's life, their personality, and change and make a narrative of somebody. And so now, what you're going to get from all this is Dez Bryant's a hothead. Dez Bryant just wants the ball all the time. He ended up causing problems. Dez Bryant was not even until this thing came out. So it's one of those things that I hate. It's shady like Sirius Radio. And they got to do that. Um, one thing I try and do is, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I try to give you guys the best report on what's being reported. And if I'm not sure, I'll say, this is what's being reported. I don't know, okay? And, I get things wrong. But I'm not going to maliciously do what Sirius Radio did. They maliciously made sure that Dez Bryant was like a bad guy when Stephen Jones was not making him out to be a bad guy. But that being said, we have game number 2 of padded practices for our Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott yesterday, he was looking all right. He's got a ways to go. But I think changed the mechanics some, and we're also looking at a whole different wide receiver core and hopefully changing things up more. And I've said this many, many times, and we've had this discussion over and Lord knows Dez Bryant verified the fact that our offense was just, for whatever reason, just plain vanilla. It didn't change up jack crap. They're doing a lot more now. We have a lot of different working parts. And one of the working parts that made me really, really good is Tavon Austin. I hope I got that right because I always say Trayvon. Okay, I flipped that. I've been hitting the head a lot of times. I'm dyslexic, not that bright. So when I mess up, understand. I don't have script writers and people that are working with me to make sure I get it right. Doing 12 takes. I do one take and then go to work. But Austin will be a change of pace back, something we haven't had since Lance Dunbar. Lance Dunbar in the 2015 season was doing incredible things until he got hurt out of the backfield, pass catches and things like that. And he was a great compliment to Darren McFadden. Problem was he didn't stay healthy. Last year, we had Alfred Morris. Alfred Morris, who's now trying to find a job. He's more of a battering ram type of running back. He's kind of like Zeke Elliott, slower, smaller, and not as well known. But not a pass catcher, not great at blocking. But what you want to have is you want to be able to have a guy who has some speed. A guy who's going to be running plays differently than, say, Zeke Elliott. So you go out there, you start pounding the rock, boom, that offensive line is just slowing guys back up. Okay? You get Zeke running through it. So they're having to get pounded by a Tyron Smith, by a Travis Frederick, by Zach Martin, getting pushed around, and having to fight some pressure, then trying to take on a Zeke Elliott. Then, all of a sudden, you change up. After being pounded and everything, now all of a sudden you got him out on a screen, or he's out on a sweep on the outside. So now after being pounded, now I got to sprint. And that kills and demoralizes defensive line. Because now you don't know where the hell is wrong. And that's what this offense has to get back to. It has to go back to mixing it up. And I believe that finally Scott Linehan knows he's on the hot seat, knows he has to be more creative, knows that if it goes south, I don't know who else is going to be gone, but you're going to be getting the hell up out of here. So he is out there now fighting for a job, and quite frankly, I like that. don't like anybody to feel like they're comfortable. Because the most dangerous person in the world is somebody with nothing to lose. That being said, I got to go do some power this morning down there in Woodbridge so I get some more of that stuff so I have it done before we get ready to go to Oxnard. And then, and then, hopefully it's recorded. And then I'm going to head out to a birthday party for a friend of ours